G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Go Battle League, so rank 2, so really early days, and here's a couple of sets running Shadow Victreebel, Azumarill, and Registeel. So I've thrown Reggie at the front because in my first set I was not running into what I thought I was. So switched up, put Reggie in the lead and see what we get. So Reggie is a more interesting choice this season just because of the nerfs to its charge moves. But as you can see, hitting Altaria on the lead's a pretty good option for me. So let's see how this match plays out. So the problem is with the nerf to Flash Cannon, so obviously it takes longer to get to Flash Cannon. It's got less play, and as you can see here, Altaria, which it used to be a really solid counter for, is now a fairly neutral sort of matchup. Obviously you win shields, but yeah, it's actually a lot more neutral than it used to be because you could obviously spam flash cannons a lot faster. So here I've thrown another flash cannon and they've actually gone 2 shields here, which is interesting, and then they can charge me down. They do have energy now, so that's why I'll come out with the Azumarill there. So throw the... yeah, so this is potentially not this was a really poor play here because obviously I'll be able to farm down. The Altaria will come out and throw its energy straight away, which it does, and then one-shot me, so it just sort of makes it useless. I shouldn't have thrown energy on the Azumarill, and if I hadn't have, might have been a much better play. So obviously their own Azumarill comes out, and yeah, so not ideal. Potentially I should have stayed in with the Azumarill there, but yeah, it was a tough match because they had some good counters in the back. So although my lead match was fairly neutral and actually was a positive lead match for me, everything in the back was absolutely stellar for them. So out comes their Bastiodon. So this is a less popular choice these days, and with the nerf to the increased energy cost of a flash cannon, I've gone straight for Focus Blast, and yeah, absolutely no reason why not. Shielded up, and it was a Flamethrower, which is good. Switch into the Azumarill to get that little bit of extra energy, and then out comes an Altaria. So I'm pretty sure that the reason that I've come out with that is because it's got a bad matchup with the Reggie, so they want to get rid of it, and we'll see what we get. So Dragon Pulse there for the move, so not ideal, and then out comes a Zapdos, which has a better matchup against the Reggie there, so potentially why they've come out with that. So out comes, just throw my energy straight away and I went for the Ice Beam because it does super effective damage, and I got the shield. So the reason I came out with the Victreebel is obviously it's going to be doing less damage. So for right there I should have thrown the Leaf Blade instead of going for to try and debuff it a bit, but in this instance it's okay because I'll be able to get to 2 flash cannons to take this out before they can finish me off. So for that one, there's something I need to learn, and you'll see it later on in this video as well. I need to throw the Leaf Blades early because saving up to try and acid spray is cost me a game later on. So let's see. So jumping into the next game again, leading the Registeel into Azumarill, so not great for me. The Hydro Cannon is going to cause a lot of damage, so this is a really good matchup if they don't have Hydro Cannon or they manage to bait shields. So for this one I counted up and they are at 7, but they've Ice Beamed there, so really unfortunate for me. They've got the shield bait, which is really good. I'll jump straight into the next one. No point mucking around. They've matched the shields here. So for this, I'm actually going to go 2 shields in. And they go Play Rough. So now I know it's an Ice Beam Play Rough Azumarill, and it's got no real play against me. So obviously we've both gone 2 shields in there. I've got nothing to worry about here. It's, yeah, going to be doing resisted damage. So instead I'm going to go just a tiny bit over, but I don't want to go too much for them to get another charge move off, and I do want to win this match. So out comes the Raichu there, and I know this is going to be resisted, but it still does a lot of damage. Raichu's very glassy. So for this, obviously, out comes the Victreebel, because it will resist the all of its charge moves. So usually it's running Brick Break and then obviously an electric type move. And then out comes the Registeel, and having Hydro Cannon on this Azumarill means that this is GG's because it's got no shields, and then I'll be able to swap in and finish off before it can get to another one. So they've realised that there, and I expect them, then there they go, bye-bye. So able to win that game fairly comfortably there. Went to plan. So let's jump into the next one, see what our next lead is. So next to lead is a Vigoroth. So that's really bad for the team. For this one, I swapped into the Azumarill, and they've swapped into obviously their own Azumarill. So hopefully they don't have Play Rough here. If they have Play Rough, this is game over. They have Play Rough, and I've got the Hydro Pump, so that's not ideal for me here. So let's let this go, and they'll be throwing another Play Rough. I'll throw another Hydro Pump, and let's see how we go here. So almost missed one of those bubbles, but all good. So they did actually shield this up, which is really interesting. So I will throw my energy. So I'm not 100% sure why they shielded that up. Possibly thought they had a better matchup there. Let them throw that Play Rough. Come out with the Victreebel to farm down. Out comes in Altaria. Issue is that they're obviously going to swap straight away. It's going to be it is a Brick Break, which is really bad for me. For this one, over farm a little bit and try and bait out the last shield, and I was able to do it. I will shield up this one, so this will probably be another Brick Break, which it is, and then see if I can get to the Focus Blast first, but unfortunately I can't, which means I need to shield, and then that puts me in a really poor spot. Obviously Altaria versus the Victreebel in the back is not a matchup that you want to be in. So again, I'm going the Acid Spray. Really no point, because it does such a little amount of damage, and then it's going to fast move farm me down. So yeah, not ideal, and they getting to that extra Brick Break there really caused some problems. So next one, so leading with a Machoke, so not ideal for me. So switch straight into the Azumarill. Out comes Bayonet. So interesting team there. So I'm expecting this to be a Shadow Ball, so I will shield that up. Shadow Ball does come through, so really good shield there. Really happy with that. I will throw another Ice Beam and see what I get. So I've got another shield there, so this is making me wonder, what have they got that in the back that they double shielding the Bayonet? So I decide to throw in my second shield as well. So I'm going to come out with the Victreebel, and I've got a Rapidash in the back. So yeah, really started off strong with the Machoke, and then it turns out that they're probably just running what they have. That being said, they still did do really well there, and I was able to take that match. So yeah, really happy with that one. So let's jump into the next one. So we went 3 and 5 there, so not too bad. And we'll jump into the next set. So I'm running the same team. So Registeel, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast. So on the lead, Alolan Marowak. So this is getting a lot of comments recently, and so straight switch into my Azumarill. Out comes the Alolan Ninetales. I went straight for the Hydro Cannon, hoping not to get a shield, but they did shield it, which is unfortunate. This is a Powder Snow variant, so not too bad. So I decided to shield, and it's an Ice Beam, so really bad for me. So not going to shield. Next one will be an Ice Beam as well, which it is. Not too much damage, so I decide to throw a Ice Beam, hoping to get a shield, and I didn't get a shield. So really bad, and I'm going to throw straight into the next one just so I avoid getting that chip damage. And let's see what comes out. So out comes the Venusaur, and a beautiful sack swap into the Alolan Marowak there, and it will be getting a little bit of energy here. So obviously it's going to throw that energy, and I'm not going to shield this because there's really no point. I want to save my shield. So out comes the Victreebel. I do know it's going to be doing a lot of damage, but I do know that they've got a Venusaur in the back, and that's got absolutely no play against my Registeel, and which is why I've decided to go a Victreebel versus an Alolan Marowak, because this is now over. They have absolutely no play here, so they're usually running Sludge Bomb and Frenzy Plant, both of which are going to do absolutely nothing. So they've actually gone a Sludge Bomb there, which is not a good move. Yeah, so you always want to, if you're in this situation with the Venusaur, throw your Frenzy Plant. They're not going to do much damage, but they will do more than the Sludge Bomb. So able to take that game pretty comfortably in the end, even after a pretty hard lead loss there. So pretty happy with that one. And we'll jump straight into the next one and see what we get. So the Alolan Ninetales, I think I prefer it with Charm, to be honest. It just does so much damage. So Skarmory on the lead is really quite is good for me. So Alolan Marowak comes out, and I swap into my Azumarill, and so I do want to charge up to the Hydro and try and bait out a shield here. Let's see if I can get a shield. I don't get a shield, which is really unfortunate. Here I am going to go down 2 shields to nothing, which is potentially a bad move, but I do want to take out the Alolan Marowak, and they have got a Azumarill in the back. So I mean, for me here, so I've still got a lot of health on the Azumarill, so I'm expecting that to be able to come out for and take on the Skarmory, and I would have liked them to possibly switch this out, and they have now, so that's really good. And then I will just throw the Focus Blast there and see what we get. So no shield there, obviously shields are down. Can I get to another move? So I've swapped in and caught the Sky Attack there. I will be able to get to a Ice Beam here, and so what I'm going to do here is obviously this is going to come down, it's going to use energy to take me out, and then I'll be able to come in with the Victreebel and farm this down. So Hydro Pump, and it does actually not quite take me out, which is perfect. Able to get to my Ice Beam, and then I'll come out with the Victreebel and just farm that down. A couple of quick moves there, and take that game. So I guess it's all about trying to anticipate what people have in the back. If they show you everything, then you can make some more informed decisions. But at the start, it's really, really difficult. So, yeah, let's jump into the next one. So again, this match is pretty neutral now, actually, even though the Registeel will be resisting all of Altaria's moves because it's so tanky. and the nerf to Flash Cannon. It's much, yeah. And they've double shielded here, so this is now making me question why have they double shielded. So I am actually going to let this go because I'll be able to come in with the Azumarill, get to the Ice Beam and take this out. So I'll go one little extra over farm there, just because obviously you don't know what's going to come out in the back. Be able to take that out with the Ice Beam. Let's see what their second one is. So it's the Raikou, which is an interesting one. So I will shield this up because Shadow Victreebel is really glassy. And then they've switched into the Gallade. It's not a Gallade, but able to take those out. So a couple of really unique picks in the back. So the Altaria off the start is very meta. The next two were a bit spice and able to take that fairly comfortably in the end because, yeah, got lucky with the team comp there. So let's jump in straight into the next one and see how we go. So again, leading the Reggie is okay in this situation. So I was actually expecting to see different Pokemon in the meta, but this is early days, so I guess not running into those meta lines quite yet. Let's see what we come up against. So for this one, I will shield this up, and it is the Hydro Pump, so that's a really good shield. Really happy with using that one, and then we'll just throw straight into the next Flash Cannon and see what we get. So we do get a shield here, and so because they've shielded, I'll now swap into my Victreebel. They did throw a Play Rough, so they're running Play Rough and Hydro. Out comes a Altaria, and there I should have thrown the Leaf Blade to get a little bit of extra chip damage. It wouldn't have done much, but at least it would have got some damage out there. So coming into the with the Reggie, and the Bastiodon comes out. So I'm swapping this up because I don't want to be hit by a flamethrower on the Reggie, from the Reggie. In hindsight, it probably would be better to be hit by a flamethrower and let this go. So expecting not to get a shield here because they don't have one. And then unfortunately they got to another Stone Edge right at the last second, which is really bad. Obviously now I can't throw an Ice Beam on the Altaria, which was the plan, and we'll see how close we get here. So able to take it very close to out here, but it is able to Sky Attack and then Fast Move farm me down. So had I thrown my Leaf Blade, that's enough damage that I would have won that match. So definitely sometimes it's much better to just throw what you have to do that little bit of extra damage. So that really cost me there. So unfortunately lost that match because of it. So last match here, I think, and we've got a Milotic on the lead, and Surf. Waterfall does a lot of damage, so Waterfall is its fast move, so go straight for the Focus Blasts, because it will resist the Flash Cannons, so and the energy difference now is very small, so I'm going straight Flash Cannons, and they have shielded both, which is really interesting. What I will do is let the Surfs go. They waterfalled for a long time, so I will let both of those go. I do get a they do get to charge up, and then I'll come out with the Victreebel to farm down. They did make a quick switch into an Arcanine, which is a really interesting one. So Arcanine I think gets access to Wild Charge, so I did shield that up. It is just a flamethrower, so now I'm going to commit to farming this down. I will have a lot of energy. Out comes a Roserade, which would normally be a real problem for the Azumarill, but I have got so much loaded energy that I'm able to throw two very quick Ice Beams, and then they throw the Surf through. Doesn't quite take me out, and I'll switch into the Victreebel to fast move farm it down, and with a shield to spare. So what I think I'm doing okay so far. The issue is there's not huge amounts of meta teams yet, and I do think I will swap this up. Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot more Galarian Stunfisk, so I will throw that in the team and see how we go. So hopefully that was useful on leading with a Registeel. Didn't come into any real hard counters, which is really nice, and hopefully that was useful for someone. As you can see, got the Mudkip. Let's see if those IVs correlate. No, terrible IVs, so goodbye. And then moving from rank 3 up into rank 4. So hopefully that was useful for someone. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.